All the above, you know what I'm saying?
Record it. Show your mind that. Record it. What you believe in.
All that good stuff that I know, we already done had previous discussion about. We just now gonna do it on air.
So we just talk like we always talk.
Yeah, like we always talking about.
But it's been a few times I was in the zone when we was talking. You was too.
Yes, sir.
Well, I can't talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you gotta still be able to perform though.
Okay.
In the zone.
Okay.
Or not. That's how I like to believe. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
get it,
You
baby.
gotta still be able to perform, man.
Yeah.
Gotta still be able to perform. But it's all
I think that's better down there. With clarity.
That's right. That's right. You see him back there? See him back there? Look good back there, don't he? Yeah.
I can't see.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have no projection where I can see myself.
Yeah. You might
Let me see myself. I need to see myself on
yes,
camera.
sir, man.
Yes, sir. Welcome to another
Okay, you
episode
live. Okay, that's
of
what's up.
Barbershop Stories, the podcast. Episode 69.
Yes,
With
sir.
a friend of mine, Franco, Bullet Iron, Woodson, Econo Metal Supply,
One and only, baby.
Mentor,
Oh, yeah.
for millionaires, the whole nine, man. Brother had Mentorship Matters, man, the whole nine. Y'all might have seen this fella riding through East Lake. You might have seen this man over at Woodlawn High School. You might have seen him off in the old Chevy Silverado. Now he can drive a crane if he wants to on City
Listen
Street.
to
Yeah,
it.
right.
I can't
Listen
get
to
a
him.
introduction no better, so we're going to walk on over there and holler at Mr. Franco Woodson and Sammy No. All right, man. Look at
Brother Bullet, we in the house, man. Episode 69, Barbershop Story. Like I said, hey, we just having a conversation about life, everything else, things going on in business, of course. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You know you're a business man.
What it do? Sam.
Things going on in the world. And whatever else you want to elaborate on tonight.
Man, and then I tell you what, we just started from the beginning, man. What got you to this point? Run around here rocking fly hats and like the old ones say investices and all that.
Investices.
You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff like that, man. Start from the beginning, man. What got you to this point where we got this beautiful banner sitting across where we sit at, man? Everybody don't bring banners now.
Okay.
Yeah, so what it is, man, we're going to let you start with you
First and foremost, I see the cameras. This is a beautiful setup, Brandon Mack. It's beautiful. I'm loving your cast, man. It's awesome. Thank you, Sammy, for inviting me. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be in y'all acquaintance. As you said earlier, I'm Franco Bullet Iron Woodson. I'm the Iron Man. I'm a motivational mentor. I'm a father. I'm a huge man in the steel industry throughout the South. So one of the reasons I thank you for bringing me on, because I've been working at my craft since the age of 9. And at 9, I was blessed to see one of the things I like to do in life, and that was work for myself. And it sprung from that point. And here I am, 2021, blessed with 2 good guys, friends,
Yes, sir.
and COVID free.
That's right.
Thank God.
Yeah, we don't want none of that
God.
kavars, man. We don't want none of that kavar.
Ain't no doubt.
That's what's up.
We ain't got about 4 feet in between them right now. It's 3.5, something like that.
We just say what the
We
church folks
bad
say.
revelation though.
We covered in the blood. That's what the church
That's
folks
what's
say.
up. Covered in the blood.
They say it, we say it too.
That's
We
what's
say
up.
it too. All right, so when you say you the steel man of the South, what exactly does that mean? Because I don't think a lot of people really understand the scope of how much we use steel in our life and what we do with it, and how you even play a vital role in it. I guess break that down and what that actually means. Because on the front you got wholesale steel. What's wholesale steel to a man who don't know what they're looking at?
One of the main things I see, Sammy, in this industry, and Mercedes-Benz came along, and you have Camtech, you have all these numerous plants open around here within the Jefferson County community that's hiring these guys out of high school and Lawson and Bessemer Tech and so forth. And they put them in robotics and welding, mechanics and so forth, pretty much trade. I remember at Woodlawn High School, they offered a curriculum of welding. And I began welding, but one of the main things in steel is a very precise business like concrete. It's a very precise business like petroleum. And it's such a vast operation that I didn't see when I first begun welding. And I started seeing the suppliers and different companies, factories and mills actually produce it and sell it, and the amount of money, and that's ain't on them. It was the money part that I saw that people made selling steel. So at that point, I said, I think I can do it. I always had the motivation. The people I'm around and talk to, we always encourage ourselves. We had a confidence to win. If you had a confidence to win, there's no matter what goes on around you or what you see, or even the industry, Sam. It don't matter if you selling Fagos or selling eyelashes or selling steel. It don't have anything to do with your project or your product. It has everything to do with your confidence that's in you. And that's one of the main things when we toured the new location, Benny, is what we doing in the community, mentoring, talking to young adults, talking to older adults about the business of motivation. Has a lot of elements in it, from determination to clarity to thinking ahead, dreaming a big part of it. So it all surrounds in what you want to do in the dream you have. If you want a nail salon, and cousin, my auntie Willie Mae said you got to have a Birmingham business license, you got to have a Jefferson County ID, you got to have a building, you got to have insurance, you got to know how workers, they think of a list of things you have to have. But as I found out in business and talking and motivating people, the only one thing you need or got to have is that determination, that dream, saying, I won't care what happens or who come against me or what comes my way, I will succeed in this. And that's what I tell people. Because my own family member, I ain't gonna call no names, saying years ago when I first started, I ain't gonna tell my age neither, but don't nobody want them old beat up bars, old rusty stuff. Go get a job like real men. But that was clarity to my determination to succeed. That was the clarity I need. So, and I still remember that quote 20 plus years later. But that's the I needed right then.
Something else, man. Like you said, that dream, that vision. You got people that weld. You got people that pick up all type of skills and develop all type of skills in school, whether it be a high school. Like when we went to high school, welding was still offered. You had those vocational courses, or whether they take it on the trade school. But seeing that vision of taking it further to a steel company, to an actual steel company, and actually selling iron instead of just being a welder or somebody that works for a steel company. Is still a vision of somebody that's bigger than just I'm just going to work to get this check. You know what I'm saying? Even back when you said when you came out of school, I'm sure if you learned it in high school, most guys that came out of Woodlawn when I was there, they went straight into their trade because they came out with welder certifications. I don't know if y'all had to take some type of test or whatever, but I know many of them didn't have to go to any trade schools or anything right after they could go in the job right after high school with those welder certifications back then.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing to hit on what you said is, you know, that was a blessing for a lot of guys to have them curriculum in school, Renona, Woodlawn.
I remember all that stuff.
In order to leave there. Everybody's not fit to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to college. Everybody's not going to college, not because they can't have the comprehend the books or have the drive or the family support. You know, some people just don't want to do it. You know, and now where the market is in 2021, a welder could make the same as a psychologist or a professor at school.
But you know, man, but people, they put it out there like, cause think, all their life, go to school, get a job, go to school, get a job. Trades are really not pushed. Like, I remember when I first started cutting hair, I never forget this young lady, she broke out laughing. She was like, what? She was like, boy, you too smart because of damn hair. I'm talking about, she said, I ain't like shit hurt my feelings too, Franco. I ain't lying. But I remember her saying that, and she meant it.
Yeah.
Because it was always taught to her she needed to go to college to be able to excel. So I can understand why people think that way, but when you go to seeing fellas like yourself, grind up with a torch jumping out of goddamn bins, it changed the concept a little bit, because, you know, a lot of people, they don't see people that look like yourself in that industry either. You know, typically, you always saw, like, the steel company behind us.
Yeah.
That's what they always knew, U.S. Steel. But when they mentioned Franco, it changed the whole game. You know what I'm saying?
One of the things I like what you said, Mac, I can comment to what you said on, she said that you cut hair. She was in the box, and that's what limit us so much in life and as humans. I'm not saying a race or culture or people, but us as humans is we categorize ourselves in different arenas. And once you in that box and someone just outside the box can't even see you. That's one of the things I want in the steel industry. Nobody look like me do this. Nobody never done this. You speak on this CMC steel that's behind your building here, your location, and it was Hannah steel. Now it's CMC steel and so forth. Not Hannah steel, but SMI steel.
Yeah, it was
SMI steel.
What did you used to be saying before that? Shit.
Econo.
Econo
Yeah,
steel.
man. It changed names.
You've been in the
times.
neighborhood a while, hadn't you, Sam?
Well, you know,
It changed names a few times, man.
old Woodlonia.
Yeah, okay. But
O'Neal steel. That's what. Yeah.
now over the years, over 100-some-thousand men worked in there. And fed families and raised them in the 30s. Like you say, Sloss Furnace, 1920s. We worked in there, walked the iron in there, and I'm not going to go in details about that. We'll say that for another one. But we've done so much in U.S. Steel, U.S. Pipe. Like I said, Hannah Steel, numerous, O'Neal Steel. These are billion-dollar companies. And where we fell short at is, shoot, I want a piece of the pie. Give me a piece of the pie. But no, I'm Franco Bullet Iron Woodson. I want the ingredients to the pie.
Come on, man.
You ain't gotta cut me a piece. I want the ingredients so we finna all eat, cause I'm cooking pies.
Barbershop Story.
I'm cooking pies.
Episode 69.
I'm cooking pies. I'm cooking pies.
Cooking pies.
Man.
Episode 69. Franco, I want the pie and the ingredients. Woodson. Back to you, Franco.
Yes, sir.
That's what's happening, man.
That's the business, baby.
Come on with that motivation, baby.
That's what
And
it
see,
is.
then that's
We
what's
need it
up,
in the
man.
community.
Because I can
what's
only
up.
imagine
That's
the
what's
efforts that it had to take to go from just saying, all right, man, I'm just going to do some burger bars and hand reel to actually being a wholesale distributor. Because one, the people had to trust you. Because one, they weren't used to seeing you. And then you ain't no dude that been a corner in a little ass suit. You Franco.
Exactly.
You've been a corner on a white beater with a Kango on or something, setting still. So how challenging was that
Don't
to
get
actually
misconstrued.
to go inside that field just who you were? How hard was that to just for people to say, that dude, that's serious? Because I know it took time because it ain't too many out there like you.
One of the things, Mr. Mack, is we get caught up on reasons why we can't. And one of the things I do with young adults, older adults, children, grandchildren, grandmamas, or whoever that's looking at wanting to start a business or be in business, I want to develop themselves personally, their mindset to look outside the box. One of the main things is I didn't let any excuses or reasons why I can't. I don't use the word I can't. I can't. You already, the conversation is over. You already made your determination that it's not going to happen when you say I can't.
Yeah. Submit it.
Okay, money is an issue. All these companies, the smallest equipment in a rolling mill will run you $4 or $5 million just walking in the door. With the grounds, the power, the machines, the employees, so forth. You got to have at least $5 million walking in the door. Let's talk numbers now. We ain't talking about inventory. We're not talking about my water got cut off or a pipe bust or anything.
What you need to get started, the tools you need.
Exactly. Just walking in the door with no knowledge. So how could a guy from Kingston Projects own a steel company with no education, with no support, with no family? I get so many guys right now ask me, Sammy, said, what your daddy started it? This a family business. How you learn how to do this? Who you work for? That box we speaking on. I didn't make an excuse that money was going to stop me. I didn't make an excuse that I didn't have a friend or a father in my life to show me how to do it. I'm not making an excuse. I could think of 1,000 reasons why.
Why not to do it, yeah?
I could think of easily, and we spoke on this before, Benny, is I could think of 1,000,000 reasons why I got kids and my kids in school, so next year, and that's where I get on with a lot of women want to start beauty salons or eyelashes, or they do eyebrows, or they do massage parlors, or they do different businesses. And I hate to hear the word that I start next year when my daughter get 13, or when my baby get out of nursery, or when school let out and I got more time. It's going to always be a reason why you can't do it. It's going to always be my car broke down, or I thought I ended up pregnant. It's going to always, you only have to think of one reason why you can. Like I said before, I can't. You determine the conversation and end your provision on winning when you say I can't. But the one question or the one statement you make is, I can. So all those negative or comments or things that was wrong and reasons why you can't do it, erase immediately. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
That's right.
You got to have clarity about your determination. And that's what I try to tell some of the guys that's in my mentorship, some of the guys I work with, some of the guys I speak with on a daily basis. We right in the community. People love us for being inside Birmingham. Most of your mills in Wilcox County, the surrounding area. So the kids at West End, the kids at Ansley, Jess Lanier and J.O., they see us. They see the crane going around. When you first saw it, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, Benny Mack said, you got a truck like the city got one.
Hey, it'd be great to see,
You got one like the city.
Ain't no doubt.
Bullet, what you doing in there? I said, we could sit in, we could sit trucks, and we could do all kinds. I'm not thinking like that. I'm not thinking like that.
Yep.
So, starting out that grinding process, like you said, not having certain resources, and like you said, saying I can't. You didn't let not having certain resources stop you. So with most people not having those resources, always gonna be the first trip why to starting to go, like you said, or those reasons, like you said, when my baby get to certain grade in school and such and such. So what do you use to shift your focus to? All right, they talking about this much cash to start this. They talking about I needed such and such amount of funds to do these jobs. I needed such and such to get this certain tool or machinery to do it. What do you advise a person to do? Like you said, I understand that you said the motivation and the determination have to be there. But do you start off researching? Do you start off with, did you go get a loan? Do you get under a person and learn the craft, or did you just see it all as an employee and then, you know what I'm saying, learn it like that? Because like I said, not having a formal education on some of this stuff, some people, that's why they probably ask those questions when they see you, you know what I'm saying? So how does a person do it without the formal education in it? Starting from the bottom, as you say.
Yeah. Good question. I'm glad you asked me that. Yeah. Good question. I'm glad you asked me that, Sam.
Yeah, I know I went the long way around, but sometimes, you know, you be trying to put everything into the question, you feel?
Yeah. I like that. And that's a big thing in our community. The lack of funds, the lack of credit, the banks don't approve, the mortgage company don't approve. You don't have inheritance, then nobody leave. How could I start? Let me tell you a story, Sam. A great friend of mine, great friend of mine. And he was my mentor. And he runs a multi-million-dollar corporation company within a 2 mile radius of where we are sitting right now. Close friend of mine. One Friday, maybe 15, 18 years ago, I go in there, we meet, and I said, my friend, I want to sell steel. I'm going to sell steel. I said, well, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? I said, well, I need a big flatbed truck like a Freightliner. I need machine and forklifts. I had a list of things that I needed to start this business. To answer your question, to start this business. And he was like, well, what is it? I said, take money. I got to have the money to buy the things I need to start my business. And he looked me in the face and said, Franco, think of a better excuse than money. Let money not be the reason you don't do something. Say your arm hurt or you got arthritis or something, but don't let money say the reason I'm not starting my daycare center is because I don't have the funds to buy the certifications with the state of Michigan. Think of a better reason than money. So if you don't have the money, which I didn't, one step at a time. One step at a time. Meaning that, okay, in order to be a professional barber or a barber, you have to have clippers. That's number one. I can't tell you the amount of times young guys come to the plant or to the job locations and say, I'm a welder. I just finished Lawson. Lawson don't teach them. I'm sorry, that's your alma mater. I apologize. LSU, I'm sorry. LSU. Okay. LSU kicked them out there straight to bullet iron. I said, well, okay, I give you a welding test. I'm excited. I get excited because I'm finna feed into somebody. I'm finna give somebody the gift that God gave me and pay them to learn it. Boy, we on. So I said, go ahead, get your gloves and everything, get your welding hood, and come on, take the test. Mr. Woodson, I don't have a welding hood. Why would you come to me and tell me you're a welder or a barber and give me a cut? I ain't got no clipper. You wasting your time and my time.
We're ready.
You weren't ready.
So
with the money, what your question is, Sammy, is first thing LSU graduate have to do is buy him a hood.
Gotta get equipped.
So let me ask you this: could it be in the presentation where they came to you and said, "Franco, look, I want this job, but money's not my excuse. I just ain't got no helmet. Could you help me get a helmet and take it out of my first check?"
Of course, you know that. Of course.
I mean, yeah, because I think the approach be
Of course.
how things end up panning out
course.
sometimes too.
Yeah.
Sometimes
But then being in your industry, and a lot of people can attest to this, pastors, they know who their congregation is and what they capable of, and how Miss Susie gonna go off if you say something to her about her seat. This my pew, you know. But so much as finding themselves, because we have inkling of dropping our heads or saying, no, it ain't me. It's not me. And that's one thing I tell people. Get outside yourself and get the confidence you need. You can't get it from nobody else but yourself. It ain't that you trying to start a business with no money. Maybe your confidence ain't where it need to be.
That's probably the bigger part.
Maybe your confidence don't see yourself owning this hair salon. Sell weave 90 inches, 20 inches, bronze Brazilian. Maybe your confidence, and you're substituting your confidence with the financial and money. They don't go together. You don't have to have money to have confidence, Sammy, no. And that's what a lot of people live in. Well, when I get rich, I'll be on then. I drive a car. A car don't give you confidence. Staying in Apple Valley don't give you confidence. What gives you confidence is yourself, believing in you, a desire, a mindset to win, a good support system, keeping positive energy, positive people, and positive situations in your sight. That's what gives you confidence. So I don't always say you can strip everything tomorrow. You can take everything away. It don't matter. I know what's in me and what I done did, and that's why I try to tell people, once you have it in you, it don't matter if it's iron, like I said, if it's Fagos, if it's snowballs, if it's t-shirts. I think of businesses every day. I'm a serial entrepreneur. You know.
Yeah.
I done opened how many businesses?
Bad man.
How many buildings? Because I change, and once I get that desire and succeed in it, it's time to move on.
Do something else.
Yep.
Well,
Let me ask you this and throw on something. I see right here that you got the stainless steel aluminum, and I know a lot of times we mention them food trucks. You are one of the few people around here that put together and fabricate them food trucks, man. What else you can do with that steel and that iron, man? I know the food truck. We know the food carts. We know the trailers. We know the steel beam for apartments and all that, because a lot of people don't know what wholesale steel consists of. They don't realize how much that play a role in our life. Tell us some of the products that you offer up at Econo Metal and Bullet Iron.
One of the main things, Mac, in metal, our life, everything we use consists of metals. Everything we use on a day-to-day basis, from the minute you wake up and hit your alarm clock to the minute you lay down in your bed and cover your head, is steel all around you. We offer a few services to answer your question, but one of the things I got into food trucks or your stainless steel is because the desire, everything was in food trucks. It was a craze at one time.
Sure.
Being an entrepreneur as I am, I saw a wonder. And the wonder was not only to sell steel, it said, hold up, they building these food trucks. There's only a few locations in Birmingham that they can go get the stainless steel walls and floors and refrigerators and stoves and vent hoods and ductwork. It's limited in Jefferson County where we go and get equipment to build a food truck. And if we find someone on the outskirts is overpriced, we don't know what it costs. We never bought a sheet of aluminum. We never bought it. Copper, we don't buy it. Call your uncle, see if it costs too much. Who you gonna call? You don't know nobody.
The average person ain't
You
dead.
don't know nobody. Even down to the mixture, we don't know even how it's made.
Yeah.
With your silicone and your lime and your zinc and your different minerals and your melting. When you're in the industry, you got to know everything about it.
But you're a chemist too.
I'm a chemist,
You're a
whatever
chemist
you
too,
call
man.
it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Producing.
But this is my craft. And if you look on my Facebook page, Franco Woodson, or Facebook Bullet Iron, or Facebook Econo Metals and Supply, you will actually see different tabs of what we do, what we've done in the past. We started this business, it was an inkling in my eye. I was young in 1996. 1996, I went and bought an old Birmingham Housing Authority truck from the second, third owner. So you can imagine what condition that's in. You got to see the truck done been through 4 different owners. But what it taught me, I made that sacrifice to do that. And doing that, it afforded me the $800 that I paid for the truck, gave me my first welding hood on my pair of clippers. That was a step. Okay,
Gotta have
now,
that hood to be in the business.
exactly, now you going to a point where the truck wouldn't even go up a hill. I stayed on the south side. I just had to park at the hill, at the bottom of the hill, and walk home every evening.
That's that humble pie there though.
Yeah, and I was praying because the truck, you didn't even needed a key to crank it. The ignition just turned. But I still bought it. I didn't have to wait till I get my credit in order and go to Tom Williams or Edwards Chevrolet and buy an F450 with the lace back dual and the truck. I'm going to afford this truck if I don't have the income to supplement that.
Yeah.
So when I got into aluminum, different metals that you could do with steel, it started opening up different avenues for me. And once I gained this knowledge, because like I said, you look on the Facebook page, I have inscribed, I am metals. And that's what the Lord told us. They said, who should we tell the sinner? The Lord said, tell them, I am. I am. And whatever you do in life, wherever you look at in life, I am. You know, I have a friend of mine, he wears he's a barber, good guy, great guy. But he wears a coat that say, inscribed, Ray the Barber.
Ray.
Ray the Barber.
Goddamn Ray. What up, Ray?
So anybody come in contact with him or see him, instantly know who he is.
All right.
He said his description,
Come on up here, Ray.
his
Come on
name,
up here, Ray. All right,
What
we
he
can turn
do?
the camera your way. That's all good. Yeah, turn it on him over there. Okay, man. You gotta put him on there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, take him around a little more. There you go. All right.
In the house.
All right, we
In
got
the
Ray on now. What up, Ray? Barber the Barber. What up, man?
I'm soaking it all up, man.
that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, that's one of the things out here. You got to know who you are and what you do.
Yep.
You know, that's the first step. And once you realize who you are and what you do, here comes the confidence. Here comes this confidence that your body starts shaking and feeling. What is wrong with me?
I'm on for more, buddy.
Baby dad tell you, come on, you ain't got time to go down to that flea market and sell that stuff. I'm like, hold up, honey, I love you, husband. I'm with you, husband. But I'm going to the flea market to sell my clothing. This is what I want for me.
That's right.
Because so many women get trapped or caught up with the kids. the husband, the family, taking care of grandmama, someone passed because of COVID and so forth, that they forget about themselves. Mm-hmm. And that's what an entrepreneur does. An entrepreneur sets an avenue where he can have his time. He make his money, or she makes her money work for her or him and not them for the money. Mm-hmm. There's a big difference. Either you work on your business or you work in your business. You can't do both. And that's where we get caught up as business owners, that we work in our business so long, 40 years, then we finally close up, the building go vacant, trees overgrown, roof grown, grandson don't want it, tax sale, and here come Franco, bullet iron Woodson, baby. I'm buying it up.
Hey, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what's up.
That's what's happening. Well, I know you. I already know you mastered the iron craft, the wholesale steel. Name some of them ventures that you done got into that what steel sprung off to. What it sprung off to? Because of course, once a business gets so big, you said it yourself. Hey, on to the next one. Exactly. What's some of that stuff done sprung off to?
And I don't want your listening audience to think that I'm bragging on me.
Come on with it.
It wouldn't be nothing wrong if you were. If you don't believe it, who else will?
No doubt.
But what I'm saying,
you gotta clap for yourself first.
Give me my roses while I'm living. Ain't that what they say? Give me roses while I'm living.
That's right.
I don't want to so much brag because I don't want you to think, or know your listening audience to think that I did something. Mm-hmm. I don't want nobody to think that I did it. Mm-hmm. You know, God gave me gifts. God gives everybody gifts.
Mm-hmm. He said, and if you don't use them, you'll lose them too.
Exactly. If you believe in Jehovah or Yahweh or Pope John Paul or the Seventh-day Adventists or Protestant or Methodist.
Muhammad now. Yeah. Forget about Muhammad.
Exactly. Whatever you believe in, you recognize it ain't you. Point blank. That's all I'm saying. You recognize it ain't you. That there's something above you that's creating this for you. Mm-hmm. And with my gift, I look at different bits. One particular venture I did a few years ago was.
You sharp on that timber. I just interrupted. You sharp on that, man. Look at that.
I look good, buddy.
Look at that. You sharp on that, man. Just throw that in there. Come back to you, Franco.
I'm him. I'm him. I am. But one of the ventures I went into, Sam, Mac, you asked the question, was I got a bright idea one day that I could be a realtor and rent out apartments. Mm-hmm. And once I get an idea in my head, I go full in. I'm head in. You know, and the particular complexes I bought at the time was condemned and roof gone and paint gone, and it just awful stench in it, and it was horrible. Mm-hmm. So it was on the market for like a year and a half because only thing that I bought, the young lady earlier, is it's nasty, it's dirty, it's dirty. But your realtors and your investment bankers and so forth can see through that. Yep. Me being in business taught me how to see beyond of what's in front of me. Mm-hmm. Saying that I want to open this beauty salon, I don't have to have, well, I can't say that on the air because they'll say, well, Franco said you ain't got to have business license to open up. You do have to have business license. Okay.
For the camera.
For the camera. But one of the main things with the apartment buildings, I said, Lord, I want a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. I had the choice of buying a motorcycle or buying an investment property. I went from the point of not having the funds for the business to start to making a decision on material or investment. And someone helped me with that at the time. I was a lot younger. But the saying was, buy the apartments and let the apartments buy you a motorcycle.
That's smart.
Just like that. Voila.
And that's how I became a landlord. Because I wanted a motorcycle.
Well, let me ask you this about being a landlord. Because I know a landlord, man. I know just like we was speaking on those food trucks and everything, and people just look at it because of the craze. That big craze in the real estate. You enjoy real estate or you just got into it because you knew it was something that was profitable? Because I know real estate can be challenging, them bad rent payers and the city ordinance and people not
Maintenance.
Yeah, man. So do you enjoy being in real estate, or that was just something that you saw a vision of and you stepped into it for the meanwhile and you're gonna step into it and get out?
No, I don't like real estate. I'm an Iron Man.
Yeah, real estate
I'm a
is
motivational mentor. That's what I do. But I'm also a serial entrepreneur. So when I see a challenge,
You do it.
like I said earlier, I shoot straight ahead because I feel something with it. And everybody's not serial entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
but they're business owners. You know, a lot of people get one idea, and some get ideas every day or every hour. But the balance is you can't jump off every business or idea you see. It has to be calculated.
Yeah.
You know, just like with the food trucks, it sprung everywhere. And I didn't know anything about the business of food trucks, installing vent hoods, your gray and white, gray and clean water, and your plumbing, and you know, your 3 compartment sink and your 0 below freeze. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, but you got the foundation of business though.
Exactly. So I saw an opportunity of everybody buying trucks. I said, I'm gonna build one. I'm gonna get some money from it. But not me personally. Let me get this straight. Once you become a business, a brand, they see Econo metals on the building, on the truck, or on the card or something. Most of the people never see me. That's the brand. Okay? But I touch and I communicate with everyone. If you don't hear directly from me, you'll hear from another type I or type C personality that speaks like me. You can't be everywhere at the same time. And that's what a lot of business owners, startups, or entrepreneurs think they have to be. You know, you open up a restaurant, you the cook, you the cashier, you the drive-through, you the roofer, you the, you know.
Hey man, you gotta quit talking about me now, man. You gotta quit talking about me now.
Jamaica mom.
Yeah, man.
But you have to wear a lot of hats. But at the point, like I was mentioning earlier, we get so caught up in our business that it becomes a business. We don't look at it like a business. We start looking at it like it's a burden.
Work.
Yeah.
A burden. And what I come to realize is you always look for somebody, business owner look for somebody that can help them. Well, let me hire me somebody.
Take some of the load off.
Take some, but for my studies in my life, I can only talk about me because I live it. And it might take 3-4 people to do what you do. And my employees watching now. And it took me to hire 5 people, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you, to do what I do. Because I have so many ideas. Hey, I wanted to do this. Hey, I wanted to fix on this building today, tear this roof off. So I hired somebody because I don't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing the roof, I don't have time to work on the business. I'm defeating the purpose. I'm not growing. So you wake up 30 years and you still in your shoe company just paying bills. No. Bill Gates, your Warren Buffetts and so forth, they come in their business every day. They ask Warren Buffett, say, hey, they did an interview. I think it was 60 Minutes. Warren Buffett, what color is your bedroom? My bedroom? Why would you ask me that, Sam? I don't know. What color my I don't know.
Exactly.
Warren Buffett said, that's my wife. She does that.
Exactly.
I don't care what color she paint the bedroom. That ain't what I do. He knew his role in his home. And in business, we have to do the same. Come on now, don't get quiet on me. Don't get quiet on
We just
me.
listening,
Oh, you
man.
just said something simple. I mean, that's a simple lesson. I mean, just simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
See, it's fine to me, man, because I done watched the growth. And it's just funny to hear it, almost like I don't know it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real, man, because
like that. That's what's
it's
up.
very admirable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then it's good that you're a person that you can touch with this stuff. Because, and then, like, you know, a lot of people, they watch these interviews and they be like, man, these folks just be talking. But shit, Franco done invested in my business with promotion, marketing, comedy shows. He can't not get no haircut, but you know what I'm saying? He wear bald head, so that's his excuse on that, or his reason, brother. But yeah, I mean, but it's very admirable to see that, you know, because a lot of people, like you said, they talk about what we can't do, opposed to what we're doing and what we can do.
That's right.
So yeah, all right, so springing forward, Birmingham Mentorship Matters. BMM, we ain't talking about a Bible movement, baby. Birmingham Mentorship Matters.
Okay.
What's that all about?
That's something that we brainstorming with right now. I have a collective of business owners here in the greater Jefferson County area that own multiple construction companies, nightclubs, law firms, accounting service, clothing stores, all across the market that think, and as the song say, I'm from the mud. They from the mud. You know, firemen and so forth. And what we're doing is coming together. Okay? We're coming together to give it because God blesses us to be a blessing to someone else.
It ain't all
That's the
yours.
only reason you're blessed.
It ain't all yours.
Point blank, to be a blessing to someone else. So if all you live life doing is grabbing, you nothing. It's nothing.
That's right.
You're not living.
Barbershop Stories, the podcast,
Not living,
episode
living.
Get
69.
something back, man.
He is a friend of mine, Franco Bullet Eye.
What's just giving?
That's right.
Back to
That's
Franco. Episode 69, baby. Make sure you
69.
like it, watch it, share it. We do not mind.
Visit the page, Econo Metals and Supply, Bullet Iron. We
right.
have the
That's right.
Birmingham Mentorship Matters coming up very
That's right.
soon.
Oh,
So
yeah.
stay tuned for that. But we're in the works right now. We're trying to get it all together because we have so many different owners have different schedules. They're in town, they're out of town. So we're setting the location up pretty much as an incubator. As an incubator. It's not going to be a charge where I got to pay $29.99 to come talk to somebody. No. They get it, and when I speak to people, I get more than they do. Because it's a gift to me to share what I've
To
done.
give it.
To share what I've done. If you want to learn how to swim or swimmer, you know, you wouldn't go to the beach to learn how to, on the sand playing volleyball. You'll get in the water. And you'll want somebody that knows how to swim to get in the water with you. You know,
Right.
you wouldn't go to a chiropractor if your foot's hurting, or to a dentist if your heart irregularly beating. Why would you listen to motivation? Why would your mentor be something less than what you want to be?
What you inspired to be.
You go to A&M or Sanford or plenty of college, LSU, to say, I'm going to take business. I want to open up me a law firm. Or you want to open up a car lot. Let's use car lot, for instance. So I'm going to go to A&M or State or UAB or anywhere. I don't want to say I'm calling anybody out. But you'll listen to a professor tell you the moves and the direction you should go in order to open up a business. And you ask this professor, I don't want an ordinary business or a two-time business. I want a multi-million-dollar business. And you believe that this professor can profess that in your life. You pay him It's not free. You pay him to teach you this, right?
Man, I'm good too.
Right.
He can't teach, and there's a lot of fine points to going to college. But if the professor, I think, knew how to run and create a multi-million-dollar business, I don't think he'll be a professor.
So he'll be teaching it from the business.
I think he will own a multi-million-dollar business. So why would you listen to someone else that haven't done it? Listen to someone that done it, and that well, Franco, Bill and Iron Woodson come in again, baby.
Yeah,
So 69, baby. Barbershop store.
Barbershop stores, Franco. Bill and Iron Woodson. In the building.
All right, man.
But that's what's up though.
I got a question. As a serial entrepreneur, as you call yourself, right?
That I am.
That you are.
He did say
Now,
I am.
I got a question about it, all right? When you start all of your business, do you own all of them still or own part of them? Or did you get into them and then sell them later?
Okay.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
And
That's
it's a
K1, by the way. That's the cameraman right there. That's K1.
that's one
And to answer your question, I think you're asking me, when I started my business, did I get in to sell my business or run the business, or did I have partners investing in my business? Is what you're asking me. The short answer is no. I don't play well with others. Okay, a lot of times, a lot of people, their sisters and so forth, in business with them. And you hear about contracts and paperwork and suing each other and back and forth. And I never looked at a partner in business, which a partner is for some companies a must-have. A lot of times I wish I had a partner. It's times I wish, and I ain't no wishing man, but it would be easier if I could run the office part or the shop part. I was flexible. Let me do the shop and you do that. It don't matter. But I didn't start it to sell it because it was pretty much a passion of mine. I know that liquid is there. But also one of the main things I went in with K1 is ownership. I want to own mine. You know, I don't want to rent mine and buy a building 10 times and still don't own it. All my property, first thing, I own it. And you say, how you own it? I was just like you, just like your listening audience. I didn't really value what a credit rating and a credit score and a FICO meant. When I first looked at my credit report to start looking at ownership, I had a 340 credit score.
Man, I ain't know it went that low.
Me neither.
For real, yeah.
Me neither. It might be well, I don't know, but it was low.
Yeah.
You know better than me. It was low. You know better. But that didn't deter me. Not that I not had the money, Sammy, no. But now I don't have the credit score. So they said, Franco, how you do it then? And like I said earlier, I'm a man. I'm not saying that I'm holiness or whatever. I'm spiritual. I know that it's more than me. But I'm not breaking the dough down every week to kick the church and tithing and drinking the communion and so forth.
You don't be speaking in tongues?
Nah.
You don't speak in tongues, bro?
But one of the things with it, Matt, is to the point where I try to get people to see it's no excuse.
Yeah.
So when you own your property or you own your building, you own your business and so forth, that's a extra income. So once you get ready to move on to another venture as myself or move on to another building, and the Lord done blessed me to get other people that's in the craft and do what I've started to continue with. So not only was it a blessing to me, now it's a blessing to multiple people. Now I'm still getting the income from that investment, and allowed me to move on to other investments and avenues.
Okay, that's what's happening. That's a
That
blessing.
really answered the question.
That's a blessing. Hey,
That's
what
what's
up,
up.
Eric Johnson? We appreciate you tuning in. Ocelot Williams, Jason Williams,
Solos.
Derek D, Roosevelt Karen. What up, DJ Velt? Michael Gibbons, what's happening, man? Been cutting that young man house. He was little. What up, Patrice? Moore, what's happening? She said, Franco. Uncle Al, what's up, man? What's going on? Jimmy, all the way from Greenwood, Mississippi. What up, Jimmy? What's going on with you, man? How y'all doing? We appreciate
Franco
y'all
Woodson.
tuning in. Make sure you like, watch, and share it, and rewatch it too. For y'all that came in late, it's a great one. You know what I'm saying?
It's one of a kind,
Because one,
69.
to even get this man here, you gotta think about how busy his schedule is. You know what I'm saying? You talking about everything from real estate to a whole steel company. And that's, oh man, that as a distributor.
Kids centers,
You got children, kids, centers,
women boutique clothing stores,
whole
barbershops,
and they ain't gonna be around here.
hair
doing
salons, dance studios.
For real.
Whatever your audience business, they like dancing. I done rented a place to a dance studio. I have one available right now, a dance studio for young girls, all young guys, ballet and so forth. But, and I done literally put people in buildings and sign leases and contracts on different property with no money down. I'm not saying call me and ask me, hey Franco, you said no money down, because it ain't gonna happen. Like I said, it ain't happening, Captain, but it ain't gonna happen.
gotta
But
qualify.
if I see that find that will in you
See you
to
serious.
do more, I'd be a fool not to, because I'ma get blessed. Okay, so
Track
with a-
record count.
track record count. So with this dance studio or whatever, if you're thinking of a business and need help, if you're thinking of a business and need encouragement, if you're thinking of a business, just want to talk to someone that have it or done it or know something about it, or just to talk to it. Franco Woodson, Econo Metals and Supply, Bullet Iron.
That's right. All right, now I do have this question before we go, because I think we missed it. We was talking about when you opened up those factories. They ain't just a little building, them factories over there on Long. How challenging was it dealing with the city, with the permits, the zoning, or from some of your competitors that just didn't want to see it happen? How challenging was it?
It's only, I believe, a challenge when we make it one. Of course, there's rules and stipulations and, different criteria you have to go by, and zoning and EPA, and there's a list of things, with that. The challenge is only a challenge if you accept it as a challenge. You have to accept it as a challenge. You can only do as much as you can do, and all you can do is enough. You speaking of the plant, when I moved, looked at the place initially, they didn't have any signs on it, or for sale sign or nothing. I bought a few properties like that. I'd say maybe 2 out of 3 properties I owned didn't have a for sale sign on it. I knew it was mine, because I got goals for it. So when I went on Lom Avenue, being the Mac, I couldn't access because it had a chain link gate going around the perimeter of the building. So, of course, we technology, we got to say if I want to take pictures and take it home and dissect it and see what I'm going to do and put this over here. But I couldn't access the building. So I went round the back and climbed over the gate
You jumped that gate.
and went in and kicked the door. It's an abandoned building, but it was my building. I hadn't signed no papers or did any, but met no attorney or knew how much it even cost. But I claimed the building. Like my facility down the street here. I didn't have any credit, no money, no nothing. But I went outside that building and touched it and said, hey, this mine. Let me tell you a story before we get out of here.
Law of attraction.
Law of attraction, exactly. I hit at it early on this property with a 300. You said don't go that low. Where it start at, man?
I don't know. I guess it do. I'm sure it probably
I think it
niggas
was.
around with 112. Hey, I'm sure it is now. It won't-
You got the credit score the same age they are.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. But when I looked at this property with no name or no address or no information concerning, and it's been empty a couple of years, I knew then that I had to have this First Avenue location in order to let Bullet Iron grow. That was number one. I said, shouldn't be in the garage or on the back street or behind somebody or working inside. I should be on Front Street. I deserve it. And the task or the challenge was no money. Remember, you spoke on that, Sammy. No money and no credit score. That's what your audience is dealing with now. Some of them are dealing with that right now. They don't have it. Then they work a full-time job on top of that. That was one advantage I have. Right on set, I went all in. And I don't tell people to quit their job tomorrow. No. But have an exit plan. Have an exit plan. Don't let that be your main source of income, because your owner or the boss or your supervisor will come in, what's tomorrow, 11, 3/11 or 21, and say your services are no longer needed here.
It can happen. And it has happened.
Our COVID done dropped our scale in our customer list, so we can't really afford you right now. Then someone went on furlough. You talking about the city of Birmingham? Did some do furlough here not too long ago?
They did a little bit of it. Just
Yeah,
like that.
Some I read or saw something on news. But what I'm getting at is no credit and no money. But I went to this building down the street. I changed from that one to this one because this was a bigger task for me. This was my first one. Because once I got to Lum, I had a whoop, baby.
So
I'm
working
in.
in
I know
Jersey.
what it takes. I ain't jumped this gate down here because it's Woodlawn, baby. Leesville. But I knew that this was mine, so I got the address and went to Jefferson County tax assessor. You know, it's public information. Pulled it up, and I saw someone live maybe an hour from it, maybe 45 minutes, the owner. There's a family inheritance that's been passing down a couple of generations, with which we need to work on more. But we'll say that for another time.
Oh yeah, we most definitely gotta have you back.
No one answered the door. Up in the hill, I done drove an hour, 45 minutes, no answer, no nothing. So I had a bullet iron card, and I left in the door. I mean the mailbox. I knocked at the door too, but I left it in the mailbox. No answer. A couple of weeks passed by. I'm gonna hurry up with the story. See,
No, you all right.
Come on with it, man.
but
Yeah,
then no
come
one
on.
answered, and a couple of weeks passed, and no one called. So I went back. I went back again and said, "Hold up, you got to talk to me. I need to talk to you." So I left another card. This time I left a note. Please call me. I'm interested in your building. I do this. I described who I was. And there's a lot of business owners scared to say who they are. I say who they are too much. I see cards with picture, name, CFO or the CEO and the MB3 or the PhD or the MS3 and HDTV. And
Everything that sounds
they got so much on
DOC,
it. You call the business line, praise God, it's the morning, thank you for calling. What are you
Good.
doing too much, baby? You're doing too much. But anyway, I went down there and I said, hey, I wrote my note. He called me a couple of days later. Hey, the building was foreclosed on. It's a family business. We want a lot of kind of money. A lot of kind of money. So the price didn't deter me because I love the location. You know, the finances, which my account didn't deter me. The credit score didn't deter me. But I kept working. And another gentleman I know, he's also investment on multiple, he'll be one of our mentors also on multiple apartment buildings in the eastern area and the west side of Birmingham. Said, hey, go to this bank. I said, why would I go to this bank? You know, they way another hour in the opposite direction. Why, Lord, make me go all these different places
Ripping the money.
And they're gonna tell me no. They're gonna tell me no because I don't have it. But a month passed by after Steve, let's call him Steve, tell me to go to this bank and they'll look out for him. A month passed by, I'm in the shop working, renting my building from the start. Loved it. No running water. Loved it. Lights used to blink out. Loved it. Go to this bank. So one day I'm in the shop working. It just got on my spirit. Hey, ride out to here.
Man, go see.
And go see. Go see. I drove out there and they walk in the door and say, hey, how you doing? I said, hey, I'm here to fill out a commercial loan for a piece of property. No problem. Gave me the paperwork, everything. I filled it out. I'm like, dude, while I'm filling it out, I said, these people ain't finna give me no loan to buy no property. I'm just negative. That spirit kills us. It kills us. We think of negative so many times, but if you recognize the brain can't handle two thoughts at one time. If you're thinking negative on a piece of situation or element or time in your life, think of something positive. And within 10 seconds, that negative thought will vanish out your mind. Negative and positive can't stay together. And that's what I tell my people. They can't stay together. So instantly, I'm feeding into negativity. I give him the application, the loan application back. I didn't even hand it to him. I just set it on the desk, like, whatever. You know, when you don't know the spelling words or the text at Woodson, you don't get a teacher the paper. You just put it on the table and walk out the class.
Yeah, hope for the best.
No, you messed up. No, you ain't finna get in there. But at the same time, there's inspiration in me saying, still go. Still go. So, to make a long story short, I went on. I already had predetermined that that it wasn't going to happen. So I didn't even bother to call them back. Call them back for what? I'm thinking. A month and a half went by. And I passed the building again. I said, I would like them to call them today. Maybe a month and a half later. And I'm not going to say his name, but let's call him Washington. Hey, Franco, I've been waiting on you to call me. I said, hey, how's it going? I was calling about the building loan. I've been waiting on you to call me. It was approved.
Just like that.
I said, approved? Oh, okay. He hit me. Once it registered what God has for you, it shock you like a Christmas Day present. You have to look at it twice. I said, what we need to do, when would you like to go to closing? Want us to choose a closing attorney, or would you like to choose one? I don't know nothing about no closing attorney. I don't know nothing. No. Yeah, you choose one. How much money do I need? Commercial loans are different. That's one thing these business owners and you entrepreneurs need to learn, that your business loan is different than a residential loan.
The interest rate gonna be slightly higher too.
Definitely higher.
I don't care how good your credit is.
Definitely higher. Definitely higher. So a lot of times the rates now, they just went up maybe a week ago. I think they're 2.8 or maybe 3% now. But if you have a 3% on that house, your commercial loan will be an 8% or a 10%. So you want your own building, your own business. If a building costs $100,000, you got to come to the table with $8,000 or $10,000, plus closing, plus insurance, plus title. So it's different elements. If you don't have no money, you need to be learning now what it takes to open the business. You don't have to have money to learn that aspect of the business. And that's what I tell people. You don't have to have money to learn that part. I ain't never had to learn how steel is made, but that's my business. This your hair salon. Why don't you know how to run your business? And the loan officer told me, Franco, you need $20,000 to close on this building. I said, whoa, 20 grand. Man, I've been saving for 4 years. 20 grand? You're gonna take all my money. I don't know. Then that negative thought came again. I don't know about that. Maybe you should wait. They said okay, so you can get along, but they ain't gonna take all my money. That's what that box thinking to do for you. And you need to hear this, business owners. So I had 22,000 in the account at that time, and I saved it for years. And I'm a punctuate. I know it's time to get out of here, but I tell Ray all the time.
Keep spitting, man. Keep
Yeah, you ain't no rush now. Ain't no rush.
Now the reason you have money, or the reason you save money, like I just said, Sam and Ben, that I've been saving for 3 or 4 years, and I accumulated $22,000. But the reason you save money is to afford yourself the opportunity to take advantage of an opportunity when it presents itself.
That's right.
You're in a position right now to take advantage of anything that happened. If I didn't save that money, he didn't care if it was $5. If I didn't have it, I wasn't gonna have that building. Period. So I said, yes, of course I got the money. I never got a cashier's check for 20 grand. I'm rich. Now I'm broke in the same day.
With the building, though.
I had 20 to 0. And I also had employees at the time. So I'm making payroll out this account. I'm buying materials out this account. I'm paying my light bill out this account. It ain't just this venture.
That money working.
It ain't just this venture. I'm moving. But at this time, I looked at it. And that's what I tell people. I took the savings and gave it to them. Every penny. We closed on it. New building loans. But one of the main things that hit me was, Lord, how am I pay my payroll? How am I eat? I got a house, I got bills, I got kids. I got people depend on me. And I done gave the people all my money. I don't even have gas for the machines to work. So that was that Wednesday. That Thursday came along the next day. Of course, you know how we are. We get the keys. I'm up in the building already. I'm walking around, ready to move and stuff. I'm in it, baby. It ain't even been 24 hours and we moving in. We excited.
Ready to go.
My family ain't never owned a building. Nobody in my family, we renters. We always been renters. So we in the building, then it started raining. It started raining that day. And all of a sudden, water started coming in the building. I'm like, no.
Found out something different.
I'm in the flood. They done sold me a flooded building. Are you serious? All my money went to a flood zone? No. That didn't deter me. But I'm sitting there watching the water flow like a river in this building.
That's a hard feeling, too.
I done gave these people all my money. I got 2 workers that they swear they getting their money tomorrow, but they just don't know. I don't have their money.
So somebody gonna have to negotiate. Gonna have to work this out.
I gotta get lights on, and I got a family at home.
All kind of obstacles.
And you can imagine, I'm like, is this what I prayed for? Man, no. While I'm sitting there watching this, I get a phone call. Some condos on the south side, building, they still building over there. I get a phone call, I say, hey, Franco. I said, yeah, what's up? This bullet iron? Yes. You still doing iron fencing? I said, yes, we do iron fencing. Are you able to come out and look at a job for me? Now it's still raining. I'm about this high in water in that floor by now. Everything I put down,
Like $1 million.
I done instantly stopped moving because I don't want my furniture and my equipment to get flooded. I said, yeah, of course, I can come now. I ain't doing nothing else. Again,
Oh, yeah.
I'm over here.
Okay, we start today.
I go over here to the south side and looked. I'm talking about, whoa. I looked at the complex. It went 3-4 blocks all around. I'm like, whoa, this a good one. This is a good one. So I got to talking like I'm doing now, you know. And I got to run in my mouth and this, I could do this, I could do that. I was selling so bad because I knew the position and the predicament I was in going back home, going back to the shop. I knew what was allowed me there, what was waiting on me there. So I had to make this opportunity the best it could be. I would not leave here without signing a contract. If it's sweeping up every month on the grounds, I need this money today.
Let's go.
He said, of course, when can you start? He paid me what I invested, my down payment in the building. He gave me enough to get started on his job and a deposit on his job for the materials. He paid me enough to get my lights on, pay my workers, take me some money home and everything with one check. And he gave it to me all in advance. I hadn't done one thing, but my name been out there. You know, this just don't come humbugly. If that's a word, humbugly.
It is
humbugly.
It is now.
Barbershop Story Podcast, episode 69 is a word.
Real. What up, Rico? What up, John?
Man,
Appreciate you
man.
tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in.
So I want to tell your listening audience, your viewing audience,
Chilling story though.
no matter what it is, no matter what it is, don't stop, don't give up on yourself. Keep your confidence. Keep your determination. Keep that will to win. And that's it. I hope they answer recorded by having no money, no credit. Some of them tuned into the podcast late. They didn't hear that part about it. They missed a good section. They missed a good one.
That man,
But you know, Franco, I gotta go back and touch on this. When you spoke about the rain and that flood, I remember when I first got here, it used to rain so bad in here, I knew where to put the buckets at. Like, I remember that when we used to come work sharp. I'm talking about pans started up and shit. That goddamn cloud flow through. Just go ahead and go on. Put them buckets. I'm talking about I knew exactly where they went. And while I was raining, I be cutting hell like ain't shit happened. I wouldn't even look at you.
Listen to
that shit. I don't even want to hear it.
That's what's up.
And then I remember me and my pop ended up coming to me one day. And I had hollered at him and hollered at the insurance company. Shout out to that lady. She showed up. Boy, looked out then. She gave me probably about 60% of the money. So my pop ass, me and him went up there to start on the roof. Got a couple guys to strip it off where you can see outside from inside. Soon as we snatched all that shit out, nigga, storm. I never forget Kenny Sapo. He was the last one of that night. Everybody had left. I done had bought about $50 worth of tarp, so you know that was shit. But then we had put the felt paper down. Man, that shit rained. I swear to God, man, it looked like a faucet running all the way through here. Kenny did like he said, man, don't worry about it. Fuck that shit. Let's drink something. But I was like, no, man. I swear.
You can do it.
I ain't never mopped so long in my life. I went and bought a squeezer. That shit quit squeezing. So, hey, I know what you're saying, man. So basically what you're saying is you got to stick to whatever the vision you saw, because sometimes what people got to realize when the Most High bring you to it, he going to bring you through it too. So you can't give up on something that's right there in front of you.
But
I agree.
let me look at this, Mac. With you said that you squeezed and you learned that lesson, came to you and you dealt with it. So when you go and you travel a lot to different shows and you do a lot, throughout the South and throughout the U.S., when you go to someone's shop or someone's, location, and they like, oh, this chair won't move, it's in the wrong place, it's ugly paint on the walls. How do you look at them as a business owner, as a commercial business owner, building owner, saying that something ain't right when you done sat and swept and mopped water out of floors, and they saying about a color on the walls? What's your reflection on how their mindset or what they're thinking?
Well, the first thing I do, man, I always look at that we don't end up in spots by mistake. So whatever they talking about, it was for me to hear, and all I can do is offer the experience that I have to hopefully help them through what they doing. And here, I done been all out of town and struck out and said, man, let's get this shit up. They're like, for real, you ain't got to do that. I'm like, man, let's get this shit up. You say you don't want to help, but motherfucker, you ain't stop and grab that room. So yeah, that's what I do. I offer the advice or the experience that I done dealt with, man, because sometimes people be so frustrated, they need somebody to say, it's going to be all right, my nigga, let's get this shit done.
So you pretty much an asset to them.
Yeah.
And said, hold up, I done been through this, I done did this, put the bucket
that
right
part.
here, let's sweep right here.
Yeah.
So that's what you're doing. They encourage them, let's do it.
Yeah, because you can't do nothing but handle it.
Exactly.
I mean, you can
And
sit
that's-
there and look at it, or you can handle it.
And that's exactly what I do. Franco, Bullet Iron Woodson. That's exactly what I do. I try to be a blessing to help someone. I'm the motivational mentor, someone that live it, that do it on a daily basis.
That's what that. But before we leave now, what's the word? It's a popular segment on
Yes, it is.
B94.9
Yes, it is.
WATV. That's why I'm at Home Team Morning Show. Franco's sponsor. What's the word? I'm gonna tell you. I gotta tell you. Like they say, give you flyers when you get here. Fuck it, we're gonna give you white beaters and motherfucking and gloves while you here. All right, man. What's the word? One day Franco called me. He was like, "Man, you busy?" I was like, "No, not really. I ain't never too busy with Franco. I ain't gonna even lie, man. I was
Deuces
like,
up for Matt.
I was like, shit, I'm good, man." He was like, "If you get a chance, stop through."
Yeah.
So I go by and the typical Franco, he walking through and forth. He got niggas just following his ass. I'm like, God damn it, nigga, you got niggas following you and shit, nigga. So we walking through the property. So he stopped. He said, "Man, I don't want to offend you. I hope this don't offend you." And I was like, "Well, it's hard to offend me." He was like, "Look, man," he said, "why don't you expand your vernacular, expand your vocabulary, expand that?" He was like, not saying that you're not good now, but he was like, explore some other shit that can take you to the next level, because I can see you on the next level. He was like, "Man, I don't know what it is, but do something with some words or something." So I think I came back to him the next day, which I always do 24 hours later, and I was like, "Shit, the segment called What's the Word?" And he was like, "You do that, I'll sponsor." And that's where it went from there. And basically what it is, every morning, 6:15, no, it ain't.
7:05.
I done fucked up already.
7:05.
7:15 and 9:15
7:15.
is a segment called What's the Word? What we do, we talk about different words of the day that you may or may not know, give you the definition, give you the sentence of it, let you know if it's a verb, an adjective, a noun, or whatever, and we put it in a sentence. And we open the callers to do it. And that ended up being really one of the best segments on the radio.
And I
One
like
of 'em.
and I like it because I listen
appreciate
to
that,
him,
too.
and I thank you. You know, you've been a great entrepreneur leadership role where it's easy to support someone like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, any venture, like you're a serial entrepreneur, you come up with ideas, but you love people also.
Yeah.
And I was listening to you that particular morning, and one of the things I'm like, it's something, you know, have a different word you say every day.
Mm-hmm.
Have something you say every day. And just like when I do different business and venture, I know who to go to. Because you go to Ben and Mac, you come up with an idea. In 24 hours, he'll have you a layout of a plan that might work. And that's one of the things with business. You have to know who to go to.
Well, I appreciate that, to be even
You
considered.
got to know
that,
who to go
to
to.
be even considered a go-to
You know,
man. You know
you
what I'm
know.
saying? So I'm gonna receive that one totally.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of big stuff going on this year, man. And I got to say this here, Ozark, Alabama. I see you that second weekend in April. Barbershop comedy series live at the Barbershop. We'll be back the third weekend in April. Start on I see you in June this year. We're gonna crank it up all the way and touch it a few times. We're gonna touch it to Dallas, Texas. I see you on the 24th. Hey, so all this stuff being manifested, and it's great to know that you got people who got your back. Like I said, me and Sam been working together for years. Me and Franco, like I said, we done sat there and exchanged money over the years, you know what I'm saying? I had burglar balls all around my house. You remember the night my house got broken into
they wouldn't leave you alone,
for the
would they?
17th time. The burglar balls and shit here.
Yeah.
It got them call
cages,
Franco.
yeah, call
I'm
Franco.
talking about
But it's
Franco.
good to know someone that does that.
Franco showed up with that little pistol hanging
Right
out
here
at
in the-
waist.
right here in the
and
village, man.
motherfucking burglar bars. But hey, we made it happen. So hey, it's good to know that. You know, a lot of people say that people in the city can't work together, or black folks can't work together. I beg to differ.
Beg to differ.
It's the people who you associate yourself
you
with,
with.
because you can't expect everybody to be good. Just like you damn sure know everybody ain't bad. That's why we're still here.
That's right.
So appreciate the folks around you.
That's right.
Get what you need out of them, and you better have something to offer too. And most of the time it'll work. even with disagreements, all y'all got to do is talk this shit out.
That's
It
what's
don't be
up.
no but ego in the way.
There you go.
That's all.
Hey, I love this interview, man. Just like I like all the ones when we have entrepreneurs on, especially.
Organic Drip.
Just
.com. What
the
else talking-
inspirational part of this interview, man.
Yeah.
And I drew something from it, so I know the listening audience did. So when you can speak in that light, and when we talking about this stuff, this entrepreneurship and stuff, and like you said, everybody might not have been listening the whole night. It's not about telling people to quit their job today and just jump off a cliff and try to do what you know how use your skill set to make money and pay your bills and all this insurance we got to pay and all this stuff. We know you can't do that.
No, it's not time.
but
That's
the
right.
steps, that's one reason I asked the question I asked earlier, because the steps be necessary to hear sometimes, because some people don't know how normal a person you are when you start off. They looking at Bullet or Iron Man saying, you know, you jumping up saying, Iron Man, and he got it now, so it's easy to say, but they don't know the steps you took to get to that point to be able to feel like that to do that.
Exactly.
So, hey, we need more and more inspirational stories like this keep coming through the podcast. That's what it's all about, because that's the way that community that we always speaking about gonna get formed. We need Iron Man, we need barbers like ourselves, we need dentists, we need doctors, we need lawyers, we need people in law, everything to make this thing work. That's the community that we trying to build. That's what we talking about.
And
It's all inspiration, man.
And it's gonna come back.
Motivation.
And the killing part, I think it's gonna come back almost by force. Like the way the world going now, we almost forced to have to deal with each other.
Yeah.
And that ain't always a bad thing. Because if you think about it, one thing I know about us black folk, we are some of the toughest, resilient, smartest, strongest, shit-talkingest motherfuckers in the world. But that's a plus and a minus. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it take us being in a position to come out that whole fight. And I think that's what I've been seeing. You know, a lot throughout this old virus pandemic, a lot of people done started businesses. Even if it's just something they consider to be on the side or something that they always wanted to do because they had time. They was forced to be at home and listen to their children. And the children taught them something. There's a lot of children started businesses, man. Did a store on Good in the Hood. There's these two young ladies. They started a business right at the house. And it's a very successful one. And I think people are having time to do that and it's getting back to the basics.
You got the vision, try it, man.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I want to say to the listening, the viewing audience is, you mentioned the Kavar, you call it.
It's a Kavar.
It's a COVID-19 virus. One of the things I hate to hear people say, I can't wait till it get back to normal. I can't wait till we can go back to the club or the school or whatever. You know, it's that you have the expectation that your life will go back as it was before. And you're holding the untruth in you. Your life, the world has changed. The way the United States and China and India does business have changed. You could buy your clothing online now. You could buy shoes online. You could buy groceries online. You can order dinner, cuisine, 5-star restaurant and get it at your front door.
Like Sam said, a car. You can order a damn car.
You could go and order. You could buy a house.
Damn sure.
Online. You don't have to. So you entrepreneurs seeking different kind of business, accept that the world has changed and structure your business with the times. And that's one thing that I've been blessed over the years, and almost 3 decades in business, almost 30 years in business. And one of the things I've adapted to was from the Frank's Car Wash and Detail on 83rd Place at the age of 18 in the garage behind Green Acres on 1st Avenue. Mine started out washing car.
You were fine with that thing?
Hell no.
You weren't fine with that car?
Couldn't wash no car. That ain't what, but that was a good.
It was a good start. It was a good start.
But transition, making a change like 2021 and took us from a car wash to a beat up housing authority truck to a burglar bar, to a
Walk that
gate, to a building,
Walk that
to
walk.
the apartment, to a landlord, to a fun center, a children entertainment, an entertainer, to a woman's boutique, to a beauty shop, now still, and now a motivational mentor. Adapt entrepreneurs to change. 2021 ain't the same business 2018 was. And it'll never be 2020 again.
Nope.
Adapt to what it is. If you sell steel, I done had adapt. I started opening websites trying to push it online. How much FedEx will cost to ship it? UPS, how could I get to this man in Texas and Houston and to Oklahoma and to Florida? What could I do to switch with the times? Because if you don't, you'll be left behind. You'll be left behind.
Sure right.
That's business, man. Yeah, once you know business, it's all pricing and skill after that.
That's right.
Knowing how to do it and knowing what it costs to do it and sell it.
Exactly. Exactly. No, you got to know if this is what you do, if you take care of children and children love you and gravitate to you, and you can calm and patient with them and can color with them and you working at Walmart in the auto department, you wasting your time. I'm not telling you to quit your job, but you wasting your time. Know your calling. And some people say, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I like to do it, but I don't know how to write a book.
Fear, man.
I
Fear-
want
fear
a
is
book.
one
I
of the
feel a
biggest-
book in me.
That's one of the biggest deterrents, man. It's fear. Scared of yourself.
Scared of it.
Scared of how great you can be.
But that's where that confidence I talked about earlier
That's
come
right.
in at. You got to have that confidence before money, before, and I hate to say it, your spouse, you know, before family.
Yeah.
You know, if this is what you want to do, I'm here to help you do it. I'm here to help you do it. All I need is confidence. And we can build on that. If you don't have confidence, that's what I'm here for.
That's right.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay. We'll say with Franco. Go ahead and tell them how to get in touch with you. As far as with the Birmingham Mentorship Matters, with Franco, with Bullet Iron and Crane, Econo Metal Supply, and some of the services that you offer, or hell, even an apartment. And while you doing that, and while you doing that,
To the pocket.
and while you doing that, I'm gonna pull out that French horn while you going to that information and just show them that there's
Yeah,
a
that's
whole
what's
bunch of
up.
different aspects.
Even play Mary had a little lamb for tonight, K1.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I
It ain't no
enjoyed
challenge
y'all
unless you
tonight.
make it one. You heard Franco.
That's right. You gonna tell them the information? You want me to play it out while you doing the information?
That's the middle school.
No. So you got concert.
That's about the size of your cell phone.
Yeah, so you got the concert and then you got the marching one.
Okay.
It's a concert.
That's
I
the
play
concert.
solos,
So
man.
we're in concert.
Yeah,
Okay,
I play
that's
solos.
what's
Go ahead, go on, tell them. You want to tell them where I'm playing?
up. Yeah, of course.
I'm a
of
little
course,
big,
of
so I
course.
got to get back acclimated to it. But while he giving out his information, you may hear some shit you don't want to hear, but never stop. He
Never
just said
stop.
you got to be confident, right?
Confident. Let's
Let me
get
see.
it,
Hold
baby.
your big old head.
Oh,
Look.
that sound good. Franco.
Uh-huh.
Give me two more. Bullet Iron.
Econo.
Woodson. Econo. Metals and Supply. Bullet, I ain't messing with you no more. Thank you, baby. Love you.
Tell them the number. Tell them the number.
205-337-7782. Message me. Don't call me. Very
Right.
bad at calling. Message. I ain't gonna say the number again because everybody gonna flood my phone. But Google it.
Hey, I don't know if they want to be on cam, but you know, we got the little ladies in the house. I know everybody who listens to the home team, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who listens to the home team know they boy dope, but they ain't here in the building hanging out with us too,
Say
man.
hey.
The Econo Metal ladies, y'all know them. Y'all know the
Them my
voice.
girls. Them my girls. Love
Econo
them.
Metal.
Love
Come
them.
on in and
Metals.
wave at the camera.
No.
Okay, all right.
They look camera shot at
That little camera shot.
Just that time.
No doubt. We just let them know they here with
That's
us, man.
what's up, baby.
They repping.
Hey,
They
well,
good.
Well, that's what's happening, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all tuning in to this
Thank you.
wonderful episode
Thank you.
of Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 69. Next week, we got 70. Who it's going to be? You got to tune in to see. Hey, Franco, as always, man,
Thank
it's a
you, my
blessing
friend.
that you
Bro,
even took the
thank
time
you,
to
man.
come
Georgia,
through.
man.
Thank you.
Every minute
K1,
of
shout
it.
out to K1, Ray
K1,
Barber.
Tremaine, thank you, Tremaine, for stepping in. He my personal. We's going a lot of videos. We're working a lot right now. So me and Tremaine training me and brushing up my loose ends and so forth. So look out for us. Come by the shops, give us a call, Google, or whatever. If you need to get at me, you'll find a way.
That's right. And we're gonna get Tremaine a tripod because I seen his arm doing this shit. So you see the camera shaking, you know exactly where the war. He fight him, I get it to him. Hey, well that's what's happening. We'll see you, man. Make sure you
See
tune
you, Ray.
in.
Thank you, Ray.
V94.9 WATV Home Team Morning Show each and every morning 6 to 10. But of course you got the Think Tank, you got Lady Woo, you got Big Row, you got Drink It Eyelash Diva, you got Homie, and of course, you know, hey, the whole station, man. And then of course, I'm also in sales too, man. Hit me up, 205-585-7273. In this establishment here, we are professional barbers. Come see us 7 days a week. Walk-ins welcome, and appointments are available. 591-CUTS or 591-2887 or BennyMaxOnFirst.com, man. Message us, and we got you. You want to write, come see us. And remember, 5 haircuts ain't fast. We'll see you later.
That's what's up. That's what's up, baby.
Damn, that shit was dope.